YouTube, what is good? Welcome back to a brand new tutorial. It's your boy Jacob from tinytapes here, and today we're going to be breaking down how I created this crazy 3D money effect, guys. To create this effect, you guys are going to need the 3D money vortex pack, which I will have linked in the description below if you guys want to go check it out. All right, guys, so we are in Premiere Pro here. We have these two clips pulled up from this Lil Baby music video. It works out perfectly because this just came out and there's money all in the video, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a computer where we have the money vortex pack saved. As you guys can see here, when you open the money vortex pack up, you're going to have three options: Canadian, Euro, and USD. And this is obviously a USD video, so we're going to open that up. You have 5 different options now: floating up, flying across, money vortex, raining money, and a transition. Now we're going to start off with the money vortex here. Let's open up money vortex left to right, and boom, just hovering over it, you guys can see what you think will match to your footage best. So looking at it, I believe that this one right here will match best. We're going to drag and drop that on top, and boom, just like that. I'm just going to cut that there, and this is the 1080p timeline, and this is 4K footage. Bring it down if you want it to be true to scale so we can play with it a lot more. We're going to bring that down, hit motion, and then put it on Lil Baby right there. Now this footage goes into Lil Baby here and then stops right about here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a keyframe for scale right there. Go to the beginning, create another keyframe, and then we're going to go back to this keyframe right here, and we are going to scale it so it looks natural. I think that looks decent there. Let's play that. Cool. And the best way to check this is see where the money's coming out from behind him. Just slowly go and make sure that it's not coming out from like his shoulder or something or touching him. We look like we're pretty good there. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the money vortex is going on the table, and I don't really like the way that looks, to be honest with you guys. So we're going to go over, click on the money vortex clip, go over to opacity, and click the pen tool right here. We're going to draw a line here with the table and this bag. Cool. And then you want to go over and hit inverted to make sure the money that's on the table isn't visible. And I actually totally forgot to keyframe it, guys. So when you guys do it, make sure it's fucking keyframed. All right, cool, guys. Now, once that's done there, as you guys can see, there's a big difference in the color between the money. So we're going to go ahead and fix that there. So clicking on the money, we're going to go over to lumetri color. I like turning the contrast all the way up and then turning the highlights down and the shadows down. Now we're going to go over to effects and search tint and drag and drop that on. Going over to the map to black, we're going to click on the darkest part of the orange here, and then map to white. We're going to go and click over the lightest part of the orange, and that looks a little wild right now, but don't worry. We're going to go over to the percentage and just tweak that to our liking. Now I think that looks okay there for now. And now let's go back into effect controls, and we're actually going to put the lumetri color underneath the tint, and we're going to go back into lumetri and play around with it a bit more. So turning the shadows down, contrast up, and let's just bring this in so we can get it as accurate as possible. Now it looks like we want to add some more of the orange in there. Maybe bring the blacks down and the highlights up a tiny bit, and boom, I think that's a pretty cool look there. I think all it needs now is some camera blur. We're going to throw that on there, and we're going to set that to 1, and let's just play around with this until we get to our liking. Holding control, you guys can just move it slowly. I think 2 is good, but I think we're going to have to go back into lumetri color, and let's turn down this a little bit. All right, and just really play with it until you get it to match the footage perfectly. The lights are moving a lot in this music video. As you can see, they're super bright here. So if you really want to take the time and match the lighting of the scene and keyframe it, that's totally up to you guys. But I think that looks pretty decent there, guys. So let's play that through. Cool. And then we can even go back in. You guys can even go back in and turn down the tint if you want. And boom, that's a cool look. All right, now moving on to the next step, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to go back into the money vortex pack. We're going to add on our second layer here. This just blends everything together, guys. We're going to go back into our money vortex pack, and we're going to go into the flying across and drag left to right on. This just blends everything together perfectly, guys. We're going to go into effect controls and click on our OG money vortex layer and see where we stop scaling in. And then we're going to go into the new one, and we're going to make a keyframe there, keyframe at the beginning, and then going back to that first keyframe there, we're going to zoom in and see how that looks. That's cool there. We're going to cut that for the transition, and then pressing Control C on our OG money vortex, we're going to go to the new one, Control Alt V, and we're going to copy and paste all the settings we put on there. Boom. And now it looks a little bit crazier once it's zoomed in your face like that. So I think we can go into effect controls, and we can turn this percent blur up to 3 and turning the tint down to 35, and I'll play that through for you guys. Damn, that looks crazy, guys. I'm loving the look of that there. Now we're going to go back into the money vortex pack, guys, and we're going to look for our transition here left to right. We're going to drag and drop that in between the two clips perfectly, and once again, I'm going to copy and paste everything on there. I don't think I'm going to put the camera blur on, just the lumetri color and the tint, and boom. For this one, we're going to scale out because once again, it's 4K and it's a 1080p timeline, and I think the tint is a little bit crazy on there, so I'm just going to bring that down to there, and then I'm going to blast the highlights and then maybe turn the whites up quite a bit there, and boom. You guys can even add a little bit of blur to it if you want. I'm going to go with Gaussian blur on this one. And then for this very last scene here, we're not going to do a vortex. We're actually going to do the falling money from the sky, going back into USD, raining money, and we're going to look for certain parts that we like. So I like the way this build looks right here. So what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to scale it in and make it so I just have this bill right here. And then I'm going to cut it to about that size and drag it and drop it over this one here. All right. And then we could scale it out a little bit. I think that was too zoomed in there. And let's see how this looks here. Also, I'm going to right click on it and change the speed to 50%. All these are 60 frames per second, so you guys can change the speed whatever suits your needs. All right. Now I like the way that looks there. Let's copy and paste. And then going back to lumetri color, I think we could turn the whites up a little bit. All right. And then we're going to go over and throw Gaussian blur on this one here, and then holding control and moving it up just to get that depth that looks real. Cool. And then we can go back into our footage here and look for some other things that we think will match. So scaling the size back out. And I like the way this corner shot looks here. So let's zoom in like that. I think it kind of starts like right here. So put that there. Once again, 50% speed, and then cut it there. You can even put that about there. Scale it down a bit. And honestly, this is just getting it to your guys' positioning. If you guys feel like the big bill in the corner of this one is getting in the way, you can go over and just key it out, and boom, it's not in the way anymore. And a little bit of line there, just move it over, and boom. Now copy and pasting the layer style from that one into that with the Gaussian blur, and boom, guys, we have a super cool look. Let's play this effect all the way through, guys. And boom, guys, that is the effect there. If you guys want to go grab the Money Vortex pack, it will be linked in the description below, guys. I highly recommend it. You guys can do some insanely creative things with it. And I think that's it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to check out our last video alongside a playlist of a bunch of other tutorials I know you guys will mess with. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.